What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the most iconic rivalries in WWE history. Today, we're talking about one of the most brutal, intense, and personal feuds ever, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. This wasn't just a clash of two titans, it was a saga that spanned over a decade, filled with physical carnage, shocking moments, and a real-life edge that made it unforgettable. From their first collision in 2002 to their final showdown in 2015, Lesnar and Taker redefined what a big man feud could be, with stakes that went beyond titles and touched on legacy, pride, and pure dominance. So, what sparked this legendary rivalry? What were the real reasons behind their bad blood? And how did their matches shape WWE history? Grab your popcorn, hit that like button, and let's break it all down. Let's start with the real reasons behind this feud, because it's not just about what we saw on TV. In 2002, Brock Lesnar was the hottest thing in wrestling. A 25-year-old freak of nature, a former NCAA wrestling champion, and WWE's next big thing. The Undertaker, on the other hand, was the locker room leader, a veteran who'd been carrying the company for over a decade with his dead man mystique. When Lesnar burst onto the scene, he wasn't just a rookie, he was a threat to Taker's status as the top dog. Behind the scenes, there was real tension. Taker, known for testing young talent, saw Lesnar's raw power and cocky attitude as a challenge. Some reports, like those from Wrestling Insiders, suggest Taker wasn't thrilled about Lesnar being fast-tracked to the main event so quickly. Lesnar, managed by Paul Heyman, was hungry to prove he could hang with the best, and who better to target than the Phenom? This mix of professional rivalry and backstage dynamics set the stage for a feud that felt personal from the jump. Their first chapter kicked off in 2002, and man, it was a war. Lesnar, fresh off winning the WWE Championship from The Rock at SummerSlam, was a wrecking ball. The Undertaker, rocking his American Badass biker gimmick, challenged Lesnar for the title at Unforgiven 2002. That match was pure chaos, ending in a double disqualification after both men brawled like they wanted to tear each other apart. The intensity was off the charts, with Taker's veteran grit clashing against Lesnar's explosive athleticism. WWE knew they had something special, so they upped the stakes for the rematch at No Mercy 2002 in a Hell in a Cell match. This was the first time these two monsters locked horns inside the demonic structure, and it was brutal. Lesnar bloodied Taker, who was already nursing a legit hand injury, and retained the title after a vicious F5. The real-life respect between them grew here, but so did the competitive fire. Lesnar had proven he could beat Taker, but The Undertaker wasn't done yet. Fast forward to 2003, and the feud got a new layer. Lesnar, still champion, was now a full-blown heel, while Taker was back to his dead man persona, adding that supernatural edge to their rivalry. At No Mercy 2003, they faced off again, this time with Vince McMahon interfering to help Lesnar retain the WWE Championship against Taker in a biker chain match. The storyline painted Lesnar as a corporate golden boy backed by McMahon, while Taker was the rebel fighting against the system. Off-screen, Lesnar's rapid rise was causing some friction in the locker room, and Taker, as the veteran, was reportedly vocal about keeping Lesnar grounded. Their matches were physical as hell, with Lesnar's suplexes and Taker's chokeslams pushing both men to their limits. But then, everything changed. In 2004, Lesnar shocked the wrestling world by leaving WWE for the NFL, reportedly burning bridges with Vince McMahon and even The Undertaker, who felt Lesnar had disrespected the business. This real-life departure added a bitter edge to their story, leaving fans wondering if they'd ever see these two collide again. For years, it seemed like the Lesnar-Taker feud was a thing of the past. Lesnar flopped in the NFL, found success in UFC, and became a global combat sports star. Meanwhile, The Undertaker was building his legendary WrestleMania streak, becoming untouchable as the Phenom. But in 2010, a real-life moment reignited their rivalry. At UFC 121, after Lesnar lost his UFC heavyweight title to Cain Velasquez, The Undertaker was cage-side and confronted Lesnar in a viral moment, saying, "You want to do this?" Lesnar smirked and walked away, but the exchange was electric. Wrestling fans lost their minds, speculating about a WWE return. The real reason behind this? Taker and Lesnar had unfinished business, and that moment was a mix of genuine tension and a tease for what was to come. Lesnar's UFC career gave him a new aura of legitimacy, while Taker's streak was the ultimate prize in wrestling. the stage was set for an epic comeback. Lesnar returned to WWE as a conquering beast, fresh off his UFC success. The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, standing at 21-0, was the biggest prize in the industry. At WrestleMania 30, WWE pulled the trigger on the unthinkable: Lesnar versus Taker, with the streak on the line. The real reason WWE booked this? Lesnar's real-world credibility as a UFC champion made him the perfect candidate to end Taker's streak, a decision that shocked the world. The match itself wasn't a classic. Taker was concussed early and the action was slow, but the finish was historic. Lesnar hit an F5 and pinned The Undertaker, ending the streak at 21-1. The Superdome went silent, and fans were in disbelief. Backstage, reports suggest Taker was okay with dropping the streak to Lesnar, respecting his legitimacy, but the loss stung his pride. This moment wasn't just a match, it was a seismic shift in WWE, with Lesnar cementing himself as a monster and Taker's aura taking a hit. The feud didn't end there, though. In 2015, WWE reignited Lesnar versus Taker with a deeply personal angle. After Lesnar dominated the WWE Championship scene, Taker returned at Battleground 2015, costing Lesnar a title match against Seth Rollins by hitting him with a low blow, a nod to Lesnar's UFC tactics. The storyline framed Taker as seeking revenge for the streak, while Lesnar, backed by Paul Heyman's epic promos, laughed off Taker's mystique, calling him a mortal who'd already been conquered. The real reason for this chapter? WWE needed a blockbuster feud for SummerSlam, and Taker wanted to reclaim his aura after WrestleMania 30. At SummerSlam 2015, they delivered a banger. Taker used every trick in his playbook, chokeslams, tombstones, but controversy struck when he tapped out to Lesnar's Kimura lock, only for the referee to miss it. Taker hit a low blow and locked in Hell's Gate, forcing Lesnar to pass out for a tainted win. The match was chaotic, physical, and left fans divided. WWE knew they had to settle this once and for all, so they booked a final showdown at Hell in a Cell 2015, 13 years after their first Cell match. This was the culmination of their feud, billed as the ultimate test of who was the true alpha in WWE. The match was a bloodbath, literally, as Taker bled heavily after Lesnar tore open the ring canvas and slammed him onto the exposed boards. Lesnar won with an F5, but the post-match moment was chilling. Taker sat up, earning a nod of respect from Lesnar, only to be attacked by the Wyatt family, signaling Taker's next chapter. The real reason this feud resonated? It blended kayfabe with reality. Lesnar's UFC background and Taker's locker room stature made their battles feel like a clash of eras. Their mutual respect, despite the tension, shone through in their physicality and storytelling. So, what do you think? Was Lesnar ending the streak the right call? Who won this feud in your eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into WWE history. Until next time, keep the wrestling spirit alive, and I'll catch you in the next video.